Welcome, traders and investors, to the closing print. Joel Elconin here. I'll be joined shortly by Dennis Dick, who just caught the 3:30 turn or wants to see what's on the 3:30 turn here. Actually, starting early today. Well, it wasn't by the tip opportunity day, kinda. We took out the pre-market low. We went far beyond that, and then tried to rally back. We're still down 36 handles. It's going to be a 2-day losing streak. We are down 6 out of the last 7 sessions. So you could say oversold all you want, but we're still going down, and the culprits are the big boys. The buck is peeled off its highs in session. That's up 7.8 cents. Don't blame the bonds today. The bonds are up a point and a quarter, recovering some of yesterday's losses at 109 and 22/32. Don't blame crude. Crude is helping out. That's in the red by 213 at 83.26, weighing on the oil stocks. Gold in the red by a couple bucks at 19.93, down a buck 90. Silver in the red by 12.7 cents at 22.88. And Bitcoin futures, they're down $550, 34,290. We just got to look. I mean, look no farther than your top components in the index. And if you want to know what's weighing us down here, Apple moving in on that steak dinner. I don't even know what we bet on that, but moving in on that 160 level, which I get Dennis, well, maybe a free lunch or something. Bad day. Did finally take out that September low. If I told you there was support before the 165 area, I want to be honest with you. 164.31 was your low on May 4th. What a turnaround in Microsoft. But let's see if Triple D, you ready to go?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Let me stop the screen share here. And Dennis, you're shooting the generals today.
Yeah, but if you look under the hood, they're
Okay.
buying everything else. So this isn't a sell everything day because you can look here and say, oh my gosh, it's a disaster. And it's a disaster if you've been in the generals, and we've been talking about potential rotation and other stuff. There's a lot of good stuff happening here today. And people like tweeting at me, well, the TLT is rallying. Why is the stock market still going down? Not so fast, because the generals haven't been linked with the TLT. It's been the IWM, it's been the banks, it's been the utilities, it's been even the home builders, it's been some of the Kathy stocks. Kathy's not doing that bad today. She's actually better than the market, but the IWM is trading green. Banks are way up on the day. Bank of America up 2.68%. Wells Fargo up 1.86%. Consumer staples, home builders, all having a pretty good day here. So you look at the S&P and you're like, oh my gosh. Well, the S&P is just getting a taste of what the rest of the market has felt for the last 2 months. So rotation happening here today, not everything selling off. So I would argue that the TLT, actually the market is following the TLT still. It's never been the S&P following the TLT. It's always been the IWM to a certain extent. And we are seeing a little bit of relief pop. It's nothing great, but it's something. It's something. And the TLT did bottom again at the Ackman bottom. So I think we're seeing a little bit of the relief rally that we felt like could be in store this morning. So despite this awful day in the S&P, a lot of stocks are actually doing okay today.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, actually, I said that to you. I said it this morning. I'm like, where's the rotation? Where's the capitulation? If there's some, I mean, and what people don't understand on Wall Street is that there's always a rotation. And there's always money if they're moving money out of the tech, and they got a tech fund. Well, maybe they're buying something like IBM. I mean, did you look at the kind of day that IBM is having? That's up 6.78.
Value. They're buying some value today. Value has been punished for 2 months straight. Dead cat bounce, not getting all bullish and saying we've seen the lows. But we were oversold and we were due for a dead cat bounce and some stuff. IBM, though, has the sneaky AI play. Valuation reasonable. It does have some debt. But I mean, 4.62% dividend. It's never been hit really as hard as some of the others. But today, to your point, Joel, they've rotated out of Microsoft. Microsoft giving all of it back.
Yeah.
Meta trying to rally, actually. Meta's a different story here because it's been down all day, but it was worse. So Meta has seen a little bit of a relief pop. Amazon's going to report here after the bell, so who knows what's going to happen there. Apple's not having a great day, and we've been challenging the Apple valuation here for a while. So this is a complete breakdown. So I think you're seeing a breakdown in those names, but I do think there is some hope here.
You get another sneaky rally now up 20% from its low. Dollar General. You got the catalyst. Sometimes you just have to strike on those catalysts.
Yeah.
The change in the C-suite. I was looking at it. Yeah, will it come back, fill the gap, or at least work that way into the gap area? So DG, some of the beat down stocks. I talked about General Mills this morning. That's up 32 cents. So yeah, there
I
is.
think those stocks have seen the lows. I think Dollar General, General Mills, I think some stocks have washed out, and they washed out a couple of weeks ago. Because you know what? I think rates are still going to turn. I think I was early. It was $87 when I started talking about the TLT turning. Obviously hasn't turned. It had a little bounce and then it sold right off. But Ackman, I think the Ackman low is very historic here now. We need to hold that. TLT is having a good day. So, and I know the S&Ps and everybody's puking because the S&P is down. That's all they're going to talk about on CNBC is how bad the market is, how bad of a day this is, because all they look at is those 7 stocks. But that's not what we're seeing under the hood. Again, the Magnificent Seven not having a great, and I would need, and to Spinner's point, I'm not buying the Magnificent Seven. I wasn't talking about this morning a turnaround in the Magnificent Seven. I hope people didn't perceive like that. Oh yeah, he's talking about the Magnificent Seven turning around because Apple's down $10 from the high. That's the stuff where people have been hiding. That's the stuff that's washing out today. It's the stuff that's really beat up that people have hated. That is actually showing a little bit of relief here today. So I think you're just seeing some healthy. It's actually healthy today.
It's
healthy
good.
rotation.
Yep. If you've been waiting for this kind of move, someone just mentioned American Tower. That's
great day.
Yeah, having a great day. The cell phone tower stock is having a good day. We did get the follow through to the downside in Google. We mentioned all the big guns. We can move away from that, but I wanted to check on a couple issues that we talked about this morning. Royal Caribbean, they came for it, they got it, and it's just holding up today.
They reversed it. Yep. So they washed out, made a new low, and now a key reversal on the upside here. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Another one, they tried a key reverse this morning with Southwest, but then it just kept rolling over. So airlines, they're trying here. American Airlines trying a little bit here today, not having a terrible day. I mean, you look at the S&P, you're like, oh my gosh, we're down 1%, but Delta's up. There is some stocks trying today. Again, this isn't like we're out of the woods and that was the bottom and you got to go all in on this market. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But I'm just saying it's nice to see some of the oversold stuff actually show a little bit of relief.
All right. We were worried about that forward move this morning off the settled strike and was waiting for that $12 area. Did sneak over 12, but there was just too much overhead supply in that one. So that's back down on the red, 6 cents.
That's terrible tape for that. Terrible tape for that. They're buying some beaten down value names and Ford is not getting bought. And again, I think when you look at the dust here, we suspected prior to the deal that the Ford pop might get sold. I was hoping for a bigger pop than that. It didn't happen. I mean, it's very important that it holds the lows now. You don't want to see it breach 1121 because if it breaches 1121, you start seeing a setup to 10. So actually below 1121, I like it from the short side. And I think you could see single digits on Ford here.
They do report after the close.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, well, let's hold all those comments. Take all that comments, strike it from the record. I'm not going to make a technical call on something ahead of fundamental news. Here, write that one down. Never make a technical call ahead of fundamental news. So we won't have, I'm striking it all from Ford. Let's see what they do. But long term, don't like Ford.
Have you been eating any burritos lately? Chipotle. Wow, it did fill the gap. Wow, what a crazy looking chart here. CMG. I don't know if many of the restaurants have been out yet, but the CMG's due to report. High price tag. That's hard.
When is CMG?
After the close.
Are they? I missed that. I did not have that on my list. I'm putting it right now. I don't know how. I don't typically trade the $1,800 stock, so it's not a priority for have that one on the list for me. But
Yeah.
CMG. I trade it every once in a while, but
It's,
it's
I
tougher
mean,
to trade. It's
yeah, the
$1,800
wide
stocks.
spreads. Amazon due to report today, and boy, giving a lot of back of the
Week
move. I
into
don't
it.
know. Yeah,
And if
we.
they can say anything good, maybe you get a little bounce. But again, 125 now. Again, talking against my wife's book here because she owns some Amazon. Any type of bounce to 125, 127 probably gets sold quickly. So if you see a relief pop here on any on Amazon, I'm thinking it's going to get sold.
Okay, talk about beaten down stocks. The solar sector, no one's been beaten down more than that. Sunrun up 91 cents on the session. That's 10%.
Having a good day.
Yep, Nova. That had some news. That was up earlier. That's only gone to its gains.
17%. Yep.
ENPH, it
Good.
really
Good
cool.
day for ENPH. I mean, what a disaster this has been. And that Solar Edge, ENPH reports after the bell, by the way. So
Oh,
keep an
really?
eye there.
Oh, I
Did
do.
they
Yep.
warn already? Oh no, that was a Solar Edge that knocked them down. Okay, so what I will say is ENPH, because I'm just looking at the gap in the chart, but that was a Solar Edge earnings or a Solar Edge warning. It wasn't even a Solar Edge earnings. It was the warning ahead of the earnings. ENPH, they say anything okay. Anything okay, the stock rallies. So the bar is on the floor for ENPH. Don't put it past this company to actually go under the bar somehow. They dig a hole to crawl under the bar. But you know what? I think anything said okay from ENPH, the stock rallies.
Okay.
Anything okay.
All right. Looking at some of stocks that, as of late, Cleveland Cliffs is having a decent day. That's actually having a nice 4-day run. These are some stocks that
Some relief pops here.
Yep. He's bringing to our attention. STLD, Still Dynamics, which I've no, it's not. Is it Still Dynamics I own? I think
Yeah,
I
Still
did a little
Dynamics.
bit. Yep, Still Dynamics holding in there a little bit. Also, Nucor having a. And I'm glad I brought you on today because I could be like all moping around and everything. And
Been a good day for stocks.
Yeah.
Not for the Mag 7, and that's why the S&P looks like hell. That's why the Qs look like hell. But I tell you, the IWN says, what are you talking about? It's not that bad today. Not that bad. Not great, but not that as bad as it could be.
If you were chasing Warren today, on that, just it's just certain days that are a little bit better, down day in oil. So if you were chasing Warren today, you would have had to do maneuvering here. It did have a lower open, but if you were just focusing on yesterday's low, you could have had a pretty good day because it took out the new low by a nickel. That brings up a couple of the big guns reporting tomorrow in the oil patch.
Yeah.
And we'll run through these. Triple D, you let me know what you have.
I got to go in about 3 minutes, but I got it.
Okay. ExxonMobil due to report after the close. Let's take a look at the XOM. Well, I could just tell you one thing about XOM. 105, 105.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's an area. And then under that's 100. So if it goes under 105, sometimes it's just clean setups. Like if it trades and it goes 104, I almost think it's going to 100. So 105 doesn't bounce there. Then you all could turn around and dump your long and try to get short at 104.50 on its way to 100. So I think 105 and 100. You're trading this thing in nickels now.
CVX, the carnage continues.
Oh my gosh, they don't like that merger.
No, they don't. They don't like that by
150. It looks like it's got a date with 150. Major support at 150. They do have the buyback in place. I don't know, just have a GTC order there because that 150 has been like the Rock of Gibraltar. So as much as you like that XOM 105 level, I love that Chevron 150 level even more. Big bounce area for Chevron. Looks like it wants to go to 150. I think it bounces at 150.
And PSX, not a super widely followed stock. And also ABBV, AbbVie is due to report.
Yeah, after the bell. Oh, that's pre-market. Pre-market AbbVie tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm talking about tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Colgate, you've got the majors, XON, Chevron, AbbVie, Colgate. Who cares?
For you, Colgate. Hey, Dennis, keep your eye on $74 there. Look at all, these.
Oh, I have major resistance. Yeah, I'd sell that, actually. I don't like that chart. Why is that not sold off as much as the other ones? I don't like that at all. I don't like that Colgate setup. Nope, not for me.
Because they like Madge in the commercials. And then, so that's it. Just one stock someone was asking you about, and I think it was the trade desk to see if that was coming into, was it
Punished and
TTD?
destroyed. I've been trading it, just day trading it, and wow, there were some violent moves in here. Now you're breaking down. You think about the 50% retracement of the move from the entire year. So 41 to 90 is roughly $50. So take off 25 points. I mean, you're getting into that area there. So that's 65. So that's right where we're right now. So we're trying to bounce at the 50% retracement of the whole move. Does that mean I'm coming in here? It's oversold. I mean, we just dropped 10 straight bucks. So 10 straight bucks in 2 days. Bang, bang. And you get back, boom, 15% down in 2 days. It's been
Oh,
ugly.
yeah, it was shop to your
Oversold,
drop.
though.
Shop to your drop. What about this one here?
Well, I talked about the Shopify level of $40, and obviously we ran up to 70 after that. Do I get another shot at the 40 on Shop? I think so. Does it bounce at the first time? I think so. I think if you're a trader, Shopify $40, I like that level. There's some levels here, which is why I'm not super, even though and we've tanked 20 handles since we've started this show. And maybe I'm just trying to talk the market. And the IWM is trying to go red here as well. Still holding green. I'm not super bearish here. I'm not owning it. I don't own any of the Magnificent Seven besides Amazon and my wife's RSP. But I think you just got to be, some of these stocks are just so oversold that there's seller exhaustion in some of these IWM stocks, and there's not seller exhaustion in these Magnificent Seven. And that's the concern. And Amazon really doesn't set up that well because, like I said, you have now overhead supply. Major resistance will be at 125. It gets up to 125, 127 and more. I think it gets met with happy sellers. We'll say happy sellers. And if it misses, it probably doesn't get bought. So, I mean, the setup here is not great. So I'd sell any pops in Amazon. Again, long-term investor in my wife's portfolio, but I would be cautious, just trading this from the long side on a beat.
I mean, just the way that
we got one person to say hi. I don't know if you can see it. She just got back from
Natalie?
school. She's saying hi for a minute, and then I got to go trade, and I got to go. So she wanted to say hi. Wave, Natalie. You can't hear. Say hi. Go say hi. Oopsie. Say hi.
Hi, Natalie.
That's what she thought of that.
Okay. All right.
She does speak.
Yeah. She's I got to tell her I got her baseball card up in my refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, the baseball card I sent. Yeah, she's a better hockey player than a ball player, but she's actually pretty good at everything she does because she runs. She's a runner. Okay. I pick her up at the bus stop and she runs home always. It's like a pretty good hike, probably not quite a quarter mile, but it's a little hike, and she runs the whole thing home every single day.
Okay. All right.
She runs. Wherever I was going, I was running. Okay. Forrest Gump. Love that movie. I gotta
go. Triple D in a fast market here going into the close. Yes, we are.
Oh, what a disaster! It's not as bad as it looks. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm out.
All right. We are coming down to the lows of the session here. The more that we talk bullish here, the more the market wanted to inflict pain on us here. Coming down on that one. I mean, I thought maybe it would pause at mid-range on the session, but absolutely not. A lot of selling pressure here. The Magnificent Seven is not so magnificent today. We'll see. We were looking at two. At one point, I was going to say, well, the only stock that's positive in the top components is Berkshire Hathaway, but that's changed now. That's actually your strongest stock of the top components, just for the fact that it's not down as much as everything else. We gave you the earnings. We gave you the earnings after the close, and then we got the earnings for tomorrow. Really, the only good technical level that I saw in the S&Ps for the stock or for the companies that are reporting was Colgate Palmolive, that $74 area. Boom, 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 boom. Mike France popping in. Man, we'll have Mike France on the show here starting in 24. He's our election better, and I don't know, Mike. I might have to give you a call. I'm a little worried about things. Maybe you can help me out with what's going on in the political markets. But S&Ps dipped under 4160 here, 10 points off the low of the session. So I think a lot of people looking through that follow through to the upside on the close got stuffed there a little bit, down 52 handles on the S&P. Probably the spider, the same thing we've been down 7 out of 8 sessions. You can see here on the spider. Actually, spider's showing 2 up days. The one up day that was in there was one decent up day. But the next day was only up a couple handles, so you got to consider it an up day. Skechers, SKX, and I did, being the old guy I am, I did break out a pair of the Skechers today in this nice weather. Uh, it's reporting its street leaning short into the report. $46 is a level. I'll give you a zone here because Skechers can move. Let's call it 45 and a half to 46. You got that low at 46, 2 other lows at the area. On a pop here, you're probably gonna uh, get some overhead supply. Easy Mike, did I take a look at Macy's? Did I do exactly what I told you to do? Absolutely not. I did not buy Macy's. Macy's, I gave you that level. I said you got to get through that 1160. You did. I think we're going to get a little pop here. If we could get it back in that 4160 handle, I think we can scramble, maybe get back up to 4175. Also, but that's a nice looking chart here. Let's just go retail, retail, retail. I said it back at 4162. Coles here. How's Coles doing? That had a big run. Still continuing up 13 cents. But you Coles traders, you got to be aware. You got a potential triple top at the 2230 area. So you're finding in a little bit of resistance. Good to hear, Easy Mike. So let's go. We got Macy's. We got Coles. You know what? What about Walmart? We haven't talked about Walmart. Still hanging up here near all-time highs. I know that's not due to report till later in the session. Pulling back off the 164 area. Really don't see any great support in this one. See if you can get back up. Sellers probably stacked up at 164 in Walmart. Costco put the hurt to Costco the other day, or I should say Costco put the hurt to us. You got a quad top on the monthlies here. You got to be aware of that resistance in Costco. Keeping with the retail theme, JW Nordstrom, a dog of dogs, having a little bit of rally today. XRT, boom, that's having a halfway decent day. People are still spending some money here. Oh, look at that. EKS, he got in, he bought it on the cheap. He's going to get that 11% dividend, and then he's going to skedaddle out of there maybe. He's going to get that dividend. Let's take a look at some of these other dividend payers. AT&T, close to $16, too much, too fast. Verizon, your dividend player, tacking on to the gains from 2 days ago. Oh, gave it back yesterday. Back today, what would we be looking for in Verizon VC on your symbol at home? That's a triple top at the 3550 area. The spoons now have a bid above 4160. Back to the retail. Well, who knows what bid? I mean, it sliced right back down through it. But Nike pulling back down 354, but that had a big run. Ooh, that's it. Nike's always been a tricky chart here. So, back down to 95, but then you're going to worry about a gap fill. Boom, boom, boom. Dexcom, DXCM. I don't know. I think this Ozempic stuff is pretty overblown. But you know what? Who cares what I think? If you were looking this one, boom, you've had to move 74, 75, let's call it, to 88. That's 13. That's 6.5. That puts you right back at below the 50% area. 4165 is printing in the S&Ps. If you decided to pick it up under 4160, in order to get back to mid-range on the session, we need to get to 4175.50. That's 10 handles away. That's over a handle a minute. But the way this market moves, who the heck knows? Few minutes left here before we wrap things up on this volatile Thursday. As I mentioned, now a 2-day losing streak on top of being lower 7 of the last 8 days. A phrase that I hear from people, and I heard it before, and I said being on the trading desk and the trading floors. More would be, when I was at Oldie and when I trained Dennis at Bright Trading, is when you say something is oversold. Well, folks, I'll tell you something. Stuff that's oversold can get more oversold. And stuff that gets overbought can get more overbought. So, you like that, when I hear that term, and it makes me a little bit nervous. Bears are coming back in. They want to press towards the lows of the session. We will see if that happens. Couple updates. People wanted some updates on some other important stock, and UPS having a horrible day here. UPS really never caught a bid. Opened up. Opened up kind of flat though. No, that's the monthlies. Where did this open up? You had a lower open, 142. Had a little bit of a pop. You almost got, yeah, you did get a gap fill. If you were smart, you got a gap fill. You're out there at 146.01. Boom. You got to 46.29 and you, boom, falling off a cliff here. I'm sure that's weighing on FDX here, Federal Express. That's down 7.5. Whoa, 270. Oh my Lord. Someone put, oh my Lord, look at that decline. That's a big decline. Bears come fighting back right here to get the S&Ps back over 4160. Florida, EKS tells Florida, he's been building a position in Juniper Networks, JNPR. Quiet one. I mean, consolidation station here. Were we going to break out? Or are we going to break down here? This kind of reminds me of the Macy's setup. Multiple highs in the same area. Can you, in fact, clear 25.35 with a vengeance? If you can, then, man, it's just really tight in here. 25.5, actually. Trade the range.com in that one. All right, bids are coming back. 4 minutes left. Biogen making a new 52-week low. Monthly looks horrible. I mean, that stock, if there's ever a stock that has a 100-point rip and you need to sell it, that's Biogen for you. Let's look at some of the other biotech stocks. Amgen have it best in breed by far, still pulling back, not far filling a gap that it had from earlier in October. I'm not sure what the catalyst was for that. But Amgen looks okay. Oh, someone asked for a technical look at Merck. I am long Merck. Been long Merck. I can remember. I can almost tell you on the chart when I bought it because I bought it bad. I bought it here. Now, was it COVID? It was post COVID. It was definitely post COVID. I remember buying it at like 85. And then I remember saying, oh my gosh, this thing went straight down. Then, of course, you just don't look at it for a while. And then it's back up. Tough chart here. This sector kind of been out of favor, but Merck's holding up to 11 on the day off the report. I think we'll go longer term on this one because I own this longer term in my portfolio. You've had a 20-point move that's caught. And that's all those bozo analysts. This is when they were upgrading it. This thing needs to get back to 110. And that is your high, nowhere near it today. But the longer this takes to get back to 110, I'd be a little bit concerned to just roll over again and have another move lower. So that is a look at Merck, MRK. Let's do two. We're going to couple stocks in here. Myrna. They got to come up because people are not getting their vaccines. Well, some people are, but not as many as they thought. Moderna sliding again over $100. I don't know what I could give you on this one. Looking at a monthly chart here, next monthly low. We don't want to hear that. 66.55. So let's see if the volume. Maybe you got all the sellers out of this. If this thing goes up, it's just going to be because of seller exhaustion. This is going to be one of the lowest volume days here in quite some time. So maybe everyone that's out of the pool, wants to get out of the pool, is out of the pool. Kevin Costello, he's going to test me here on Amazon going into the close here. And I think what I gotta do something here for Kevin because I don't know if he's long, I don't know if he's short, I don't know what he's looking to do. That's the problem when you do a show like this. People ask you stuff and You really don't know what position, but I just do. I just assume everyone is long or wants to get long or is trying to sell. I don't think we have many shorters out there. On the monthly chart for Amazon, nope, I didn't want to do that move. Get rid of that move. This is the move that I wanted to do. Going into the closing print here, still looks like it's going to be a victorious day for the Bears. Oh man, come on, you guys! I want to do this. I want to do this because Amazon. This is an important report, and this is an important technical level because you hit it on the monthlies. Where's this 50% come in? 50% comes in around 112, 113. Boom, boom, boom. If you want to pick that up, okay, folks. Couldn't do it. Couldn't rally into the close. Actually, we're going to close 10 handles, 9 handles off the lows of the session. All that green stuff we talked about, completely, it's gone. Let's see what happens. I'm calling the final print, 41.56. We got some big numbers coming out. We'll see what happens. Come on Ford. Come on Amazon. We need something. All right, folks. Triple D, if you're still listening, go get them. Thanks for joining me here on the closing print. We're going to put an end to this hectic week tomorrow.